In fact, just moderately active females and males need 2,000 and 2,800 calories respectively to sustain their health.
This woman clearly has no idea whatsoever what's going on with the diet of a normal person. What's up guys, Will Personal Training here, back again. So I recently saw a video that Coach Greg Doucette had uploaded responding to a woman called Abbey Sharp'ss about his nutrition and about his diet advice and everything like that. And I'm going to be going through some things that I saw in her video that made me just speechless and clearly exposed her for having no freaking idea what is going on with people's diets. I'm going to be going over some of her video clips and we're going to respond to them and see how stupid she is.
You can reduce the digestible starch content in rice through a process called starch retrogradation. So upon being cooled, the rice forms new structures that are more digestion resistant, meaning they contain less available carbohydrates for our body to digest and absorb. One study even found that depending on the cooking methods and variety of rice, resistant starches could be increased by 10 times and could cut the calories in the rice by around 50 to 60%. Their particular method for cooking and cooling process involves boiling water with a teaspoon of coconut oil and then adding the rice and letting it simmer for about 40 minutes or boiling it for 20 to 25 minutes and then refrigerating it for 12 hours.
So this suggestion about her having rice and trying to find a way to make rice have 50% calories is just completely pointless if you look at actual real coaching with people's diets. These people that are trying to lose weight, that come to coaches and they come to personal trainers to lose weight and lose fat, they typically aren't going to be able at first on their own to be able to even, do some cardio for 10 minutes a day. I don't know how you expect a normal average person to be doing this crazy rice thing for up to 12 hours a day, holding it in your fridge, when all you have to do to make rice have less calories is just eat less rice. It's that simple. Why go to these crazy lengths for something so stupid, just to make rice have less calories when you can just eat less calories? And to think that people would actually go to these lengths and to think this suggestion actually matters in the real world is just ridiculous. When we're talking about diet advice and fat loss advice and stuff like that, we're not typically dealing, maybe 1% of the time, we're typically dealing with someone who's extremely dedicated, like a professional athlete, a competitive bodybuilder, a competitive powerlifter, who is going to put so much effort into doing any sort of diet tip and thing that's going to get them 1% farther. When we're dealing with typical normal people who can't even bring themselves to do 10 minutes of cardio a day to lose fat on their own, why are they going to do something that takes this long, or takes something that takes up to 12 hours of effort just to wait to eat food? It's ridiculous. Just eat less rice. This point is ridiculous.
Anyways, I also want to note that I see he's putting a little sugar-free ketchup on the side of his meal, which has sucralose added into it, which is another artificial sweetener. So with the sweeteners, French toast, and the diet syrup, it's looking like he actually takes in quite a lot of artificial sweeteners to cut calories in prep. Finally, I will just say that there are a lot of artificially sweetened diet products in his diet. I've already commented on this ad nauseum in my video here, but like actual sugar and, well, like anything else, there may be such thing as too much of a good thing. I know Greg's mentality on diet products is no calories, no concerns, but I'm not sure that we have enough evidence to say that's the case.
Worrying about the health aspect of artificial sweeteners is completely pointless when you're looking at someone's fat loss phase. What we want to do is not necessarily get them on the healthiest diet, because not everyone is going to be able to follow that. In fact, most people are not going to be able to follow the most insanely healthy diet. We're not dealing with competitive bodybuilders in the 1% of the population that's going to be able to commit extremely hard to having every single every single aspect of their health completely on point in their diet. We're dealing with average people who probably have been overweight for most of their life or a lot of their life. We just need to get them eating good foods that will allow them to be full and have less calories in their diet than normal. And artificial sweeteners are a great tool to achieve that, because they allow us to put high volume, low calorie or no calorie foods in our diet. And if there is any bad, unhealthy aspects of artificial sweeteners, they're not unhealthy for you. They're not going to be realized in a, let's say 3, 4, 5, or 6 month fat loss phase that someone's going through.
Now, the Walden Farms syrup he uses claims to be calorie free, but is that even possible? So as I've mentioned before, if a product has less than 5 calories per serving, it can be labeled as calorie-free. But if you eat the whole bottle, you are going to get some calories. Not, of course, as much as like normal chocolate syrup, but still, you will be adding calories, plus probably a trip to the toilet, as cellulose does tend to cause loose bowels when consumed in excess.
Who even really cares about the hidden 1 or 2 calories per serving in a calorie-free syrup? In the big scheme of things, that just does not matter whatsoever. Are we going to throw out an entire great low-calorie food item just because there's a hidden 1 to 2 calories? If I'm putting someone in a 500 deficit and it actually turns out to be a 499 or a 498 deficit, it doesn't matter at all. This point is just stupid. To try to discredit sugar-free syrup because of 1 or 2 hidden calories, maybe 5 calories per bottle, it's just ridiculous, idiotic.
But in this video, he actually suggested that the average person looks like poop, and that in order to look above average, you're going to have to need to eat less calories than what's recommended.
It's true, most people are fat, and the amount of fat the average person holds is objectively not good for you. Coach Greg is right.
In fact, just moderately active females and males need 2,000 and 2,800 calories respectively to sustain their health. So promoting undereating in order to better ourselves is just unsafe and not healthy at all.
Now, this was the stupidest thing I've heard someone say. She clearly has never worked with like an average person or any real person on a fat loss phase. I don't have one client right now that would not get very, very fat eating 2,000 calories a day. Dedicated 2,000 calories a day, which was the bottom of the range she gave. I don't have one person that wouldn't get very, very fat on that. One person. When Coach Greg said that 1,800 calories is on average what most women eat in a day, he was completely right. And to get someone in a deficit, a meaningful deficit to lose fat at a decent pace, we're going to need to get them at 1,500 and under that. That's what most people are going to be looking at for a fat loss phase for themselves, for women. To think if someone had signed up for her coaching, if she even does that at all, that she would put them on minimum 2,000 calories is just insane to me. She does not know that that is what gets a lot of people fat. Like I said, not one person with me right now would not get very fat eating 2,000 calories every single day. She just has no idea what she's talking about with that range of calories. It's just insane. It's mind-blowing.
Greg seems to think that there is only one reason people can be overweight. They eat too much, and that makes it a personal choice. While yes, our weight may be influenced by our diet, of course, it is also largely determined by our genetics, the environment that we live and work in, our microbiome, our hormones, certain diseases and medications, and yes, even restriction. We know that weight is the result of so much more than calories in and calories out. So the law of thermodynamics that Greg is referring to is just far too simple to account for human experience and weight fluctuations.
Another thing that's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard is she thinks eating too much isn't the sole reason for people having weight gain or fat gain. That is the sole reason. Now, she lists out other factors that contribute to the amount of calories it takes a day to gain weight, but at the end of the day, it is eating too many calories, whether that be 1,000 calories or whether it be 4,000 calories. That is why you're gaining weight or gaining fat. There's all these factors. They go into the amount of calories you eat a day that leads to weight gain. It's not that you have the amount of calories you eat in a day and then you have all your other factors and they both add up to weight gain. It's you have the amount of calories you have in a day, you have all these other factors, they go into the calories. Hormone influences, activity influences are influences on the amount of calories you have to eat a day to either gain or lose weight, not any other way around or having them be at equal importance into the weight gain and weight loss factor. It's how much you're eating a day is how much you're gaining weight. If you have a very slow metabolism and you have some crazy out of the world hormones that make your metabolism very slow, doesn't change the fact that if you're eating too much with that really crazy slow metabolism, that is why you're gaining weight. Does not change the effect whatsoever. She just has no idea what she's talking about at all. I'm surprised she's a registered dietitian. All right, guys, Abbey Sharp, don't listen to her advice. Don't listen to her nutritional advice. If you want to lose fat, go with someone like me. Go with someone like Coach Greg. They know what they're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. It's calories in, calories out. That's how you lose weight. People need to have sustainable diets, not extremely healthy diets if they want realistic fat loss. It's that simple. All right, guys, peace out.